Hello children, welcome to the economics class. I am Suma, lecturer of economics, Gopalswamy PU College, Mysuru. Today we are going to the last session, that is fifth session of the fourth lesson in microeconomics. That is, the topic today that is covered is short run and long run supply curves. So, you all know that under theory of firm with perfect competition, each firm is a price taker, because here the price of the product, market price of the product is decided by an industry and not an individual firm, and therefore the industry decides the market price of the cost, which will help each firm to earn some amount of profit. So therefore each firm is a price taker under the theory of perfect competition. This can be asked for 1 marks question also. So now let's see about the short run supply curve of the theory of firm under perfect competition. The short run supply curve here is nothing but it is the rising part of the SMC, short run marginal cost curve, above the average variable cost. You know that there should be, the price should be either equivalent or more than the average variable cost. So therefore it is the rising part of the SMC over the AVC together with the zero of output, together with the zero output for all the prices strictly less than the minimum of AVC, that is minimum of average variable cost, because in the short run, you know, only the labor and capital are the variable factors of production, wherein when you go to the long run, all the 4 factors of production become the variable factors. Again, just here in the long run supply curve also, it is the rising part of the LMC over the LAC, that is the long run marginal cost over the long run average cost, along with and together with zero output for all prices strictly above the or strictly less than the minimum AVC cost. So these 2 diagrams should be compulsorily written when it is asked in a question for your examination for 6 marks. So this is an important question from the point of view of your examination, children. So now let's see about the supply of the firm with the schedule and diagram, how the supply or law of supply is going to be applied to a firm. You know that firm is a unit of industry and firm itself is not an industry. So therefore the law of supply of a firm should be explained with the schedule and diagram. Even this can be asked for 6 marks. So now let's see about the schedule and diagram for the law of supply. So now let's see. Hello children, this is another question which can be asked for 6 marks. They can ask you, write the law of supply along with the schedule and diagram. So you all know that the law of supply is when other things remaining constant. When other things remaining constant, a rise in the price leads to rise in the quantity supplied in the market, as well as fall in the price will lead to a fall in the quantity of supply. Here let's see, when other things remaining constant, what does it mean? What are the other things? The other things are the components of supply function. As we discussed in our previous session, there are 6 to 7 components of supply function, like price of the related goods, future price, etc. So all these other things remaining constant, if there is a rise in the price, that will lead to rise in the quantity supplied, and if there is a fall in the price, the quantity supplied will also fall. So for example, now we can learn that, we can understand that through a supply schedule. In a supply schedule, it can be explained in the form of a linear equation, that is QS equals A plus BP, wherein A and B are constants. that is the market price, wherein which is a variable factor. So A and B are constants, P is the price of the product. If A equals 10 and B equals 2, then the linear supply function when P is 1, 2, 3, 4 and 5 can be represented in the form of a schedule as well as in the form of a diagram as follows. So, in this linear function, linear equation function, we know that A plus B and P. So, here quantity supplied is 10 plus 2 because A is 10 and B is 2. Here is the price. So, 10 plus 2 and 1 when the price is rupees 1, then 10 plus 2 into 1, that is 2 only. So, the quantity supplied will be 12 units of any quantity, any item. Okay. So, now let us come to the second price, that is 2 rupees. If 1 more rupee is hiked, then 10 plus 2 multiplied by 2. 2 multiplied by 2 is 4. So, 10 plus 4 is 14. Like that, 10 plus 6 is 16. 10 plus 8 is 18 and 10 plus 10 is 20. So, that is explained in the form of a diagram wherein on the 0x axis, OX axis we have the quantity supplied and OY axis we have the price mentioned, and here we have the slope of supply. The slope of supply curve is always upwards going from left to right. That is very important. The slope of supply, you should mention even that also. So, this explains the supply curve and supply schedule of the firm, and the questions that have been explained now in this session, these two are very important from the point of view of your examination. So, now let us move towards the another topic of the same lesson, that is price elasticity of supply. In our previous session, we learned that price elasticity is nothing but one which measures the responsiveness of the quantity supplied as against the price quoted of the product. So, as the price quoted increases, the quantity supplied also increases. So, price elasticity of supply can be explained in towards the next topic of the same lesson, that is price elasticity of supply. We learnt about it in our previous sessions. It is nothing but the one which measures the responsiveness of the quantity supplied to the different variations in the price quoted for a product. So, the responsiveness in the market for the quantity of the goods or the demand for the goods goes on varying according to the price of the product, according to the change of the price of the product. If the tomato is available for 2 rupees per kilo, everyone wishes to buy more of it. And if the tomato is available for 50 rupees per kilo, everyone wishes to buy the lesser quantity. That is just like a responsiveness of the market to the variations in the price. So, price elasticity of supply is calculated by percentage change in the quantity supplied divided by percentage change in the price mentioned. So, we will move to the another two topics of the same lesson, that is the break-even point and the shutdown point. Break-even point is the one where a firm reaches a break-even point when its total revenue equals total cost. That is, I am spending 100 rupees for the production of a goods and I am getting 100 rupees or more than 100 rupees also. It should be either more than or equivalent to the total cost. So, a firm reaches the break-even point at when the total revenue equals or is more than the total cost. Here we call it as a position of rest again. Here neither the producer or the seller, one who offers products in the market, is not willing to leave the market or not going to expand the market also, because he is contented, he is happy with the returns that he is getting for his investment, wherein at this point a firm is just willing to stay in the market, neither going out of the market nor expanding the market. Even the expansion cannot also be taken here, because in the perfect competitive market, each firm is a price taker, and suddenly if a firm under this theory of perfect competition wants to hike the price of its goods without taking the permission of the industry, then it is going to lose the market, or if it reduces the cost, again it is going to lose the quantity, or it has compromised with the quality also. So therefore, public will not trust a perfect competitor if he either hikes the product's price or if he reduces the price of the product. So now let's move towards shutdown point. What is a shutdown point? It is that point where short-run marginal cost curve. You all know marginal cost is nothing but the additional cost incurred to earn additional revenue. So shutdown point is that point where short-run marginal cost curve cuts the average variable cost at its minimum, so that every additional cost spent by the producer to produce a product is going to fetch him additional revenue, marginal revenue. So therefore, this SMC is going to cut the ABC at its minimum, and this point is called as shutdown point. Here, a firm continues to produce as long as price is greater than or equivalent to average variable cost. A firm stays in the market until and unless it earns price which is more than or equivalent to the average variable cost, and this helps the firm to sustain in the market, because here the important feature of the perfect competitive market is that there is a free entry and free exit of the suppliers. So here the firm wants, in the break-even point situation, the firm neither wants to exit from the market nor wants to expand its business. In the case of shutdown point, the firm definitely wants to continue the production until it is getting a price more than or equivalent to average variable cost. So with this, we have come to the end of this lesson, children. So hope you have all understood the concepts and in these 5 sessions. If you have any doubt, you can call me and you can clarify the doubts. Thank you. Wish you all the best.